Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Cold Steel 2. We are still in Roar and today is a bonding event day. Bonding events all around, because we've got plenty left to do. Because if you look at the list, one of them has already been taken. That's of course Alyssa, because we already did her during the last episode. And for now, all the other ones are up for grabs. So, Toa, I definitely want to do as one to pick, so we'll save that as one of the last ones, because we always do the watch ones first and the picks later. And I don't want to pick anything more, because 4 points will help me to do multiple ones before I have to reload. And the other ones, I decided upon by looking at our link level here and picking a few of the lower ones. So, since Angelica doesn't have any, I was going to go with Sarah, who's at Jackass. And I thought maybe Usus and Makias. Makias would definitely go to level 4, and Usus would get closer to being able to go to level 4. So yeah, I think those would be really nice picks to have, and that means the rest of them will just go and watch those. Alright, meaning that Toa, you'll be left alone for a little while longer. Oh, hey guys, you highway bound? That's right, I figured I might head out and fish for a while to pass the time. One of Wynn's favorite fishing holes is supposed to be out there, so I thought I'd give it a try for myself. Oh yeah, I know that one. It's not far from where our boat first landed. Just be careful though. The monsters have gotten a lot stronger than they were when Gwyn used to fish out there. Oh, I will. Don't worry about me. In fact, you shouldn't be worried about anything at all. Take some time to de-stress yourself while you're gutted. Everyone has times when they just need to open a window and let some fresh air into their lives. I'll give it a try, thanks. Maybe fishing with Gaius would let me open that window we mentioned. Spend time with Gaius? Yes, I'm all up for that. Well, how about we fish together? If it's a good enough way for you to unwind, it's good enough for me. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, are they gonna talk about life issues or about V? Rean and Gaius then made a beeline to Gwyn's old fishing spot on the Spina byroad. Once they made it there, the two got right to fishing. It feels like ages since I just put my cares to the side for a while and cast out a line like this. Yeah, ever since the war started, we've had no shortage of things to be worried about. It's probably healthy for us to take the opportunity to unwind every now and then. Yeah, even now, I'm feeling all the build-up tension just kind of soften and melting away. Did you fish much back home? I got in some good rod in real time, sure. Hardly as much as Gwyn though. He used to take me out on his boat to fish, especially when he could tell I was feeling down about something. Huh? Really? You always seem so composed. I guess I just assumed that nothing ever really got to you like that. Man, that's embarrassing to admit. We've all got our worries. Don't fret about it. Sure, I feel down sometimes, but it always passes in time. Back home, I was always surrounded by people who cared about me. Mom, dad, siblings, neighbors in settlement. Whenever I started feeling down, they were there to cheer me up. And I always tried to do what I could to be there for them in the same way. Well, that sounds like a good life. And that's how you became the dependable guys we all look up to. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. Still, I like to think that if there was anything you need, you'll be able to rely on me. This class would never have come as far as we have if we hadn't supported each other along the way. You're right about that. I'll make sure to keep it in mind. What's that? Monsters! Damn, we must have noticed them earlier if we've been paying more attention. This reminds me of back when I rescued Lieutenant General Vander a year ago. But at least that time I had a horse. Well, this time, you got me. True, together we can take them. of course. They're just wolves. Drawing their weapons, Rean and guys fought valiantly against a horde of monsters. And despite being vastly outnumbered, they triumphed by making the most of each other's strength in combat. Well, and they're a bit over leveled too, so that's also probably why it was easy. Well, I'd say we managed to beat the odds, wouldn't you? See? You are dependable, just like I said. It takes two to cover each other's back. And whenever you need me, I'll have yours. Likewise. Yeah. We always do that. We all got each other's back in Class 7. The battle won, they made their way back to war. We're gonna see so many level up that are gonna be cancelled out by reloading later. Monsters intrusion aside, fishing with you was a lot of fun. We should go again sometime. Oh, we definitely should, definitely. Alright, I think up here is probably only... yeah, Jackass Repair Shop. Which should have Sarah in there. But we haven't talked to the people there yet, but we'll do that after we go for the pigs. Well, I guess the Isengraf's pretty much stuck in war station for the time being. Well, better stuck than under Alliance control, right? Now that I think about it, I never want and got what I left there a while ago. Maybe I should grab it before it starts running again. Maybe I should tag along. It'll be kind of cool to take a look around inside too. Let's go. Mind if I join you, William? We didn't exactly get to look around last time we were in there, to be honest. I'd kind of like to. I'm not stopping you. In the words of Fee, let's roll. They spoke to an RMP officer guarding the station and were granted permission to step aboard the Isengraf. Once inside, they went straight to the front carriage and William found what she was looking for on the engine room dashboard. Aww. Now I kinda wanna pick this one. That's adorable. Oh, it's a stuffed bear. A pretty big one too. He's awesome, isn't he? Gramps brought him for me a while back as a reward for completing a mission. He did? I'm having a hard time imagining Chancellor Osborn buying someone something as cute as a present. Yeah, I guess he didn't seem like the type, huh? He probably brought it for me on a whim. Oh, I wasn't trying to suggest he was some cold-hearted person or anything. Hey, while we're here, you wanna do some exploring? I bet the chairs in here are way softer than any sofa you ever tried. Sure, why not? Still, we're putting the RMP out, remember? We can't spend too long in here. Man, you weren't kidding. These really are comfy. It was a gift from the Emperor though, so it's no wonder that it would be all so ritzy. I know, right? I'm jealous of how much he got to use it too. He got to live up in his way to the conference in Crossbell. Oh yeah, Prince Oliver and Toa were on board for that trip too. What's up? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about how this train lost its master. The same way you, Captain Claire, and the other Ironbloods have. Oh, that's true. I guess he can't really live up it anymore now that he's dead, huh? Nothing we can do about it, though. Crows outsmarted him, and that's that. I still can't believe we actually managed to kill him. I wasn't expecting you to be able to talk about him so... impartially. I mean, if you're upset about it, there's no need to force yourself not to let it show, you know? Why would it be? When Dad was shot by the Jaeger, I was beside myself with worry and anger. And the Chancellor was like a father to all of you, wasn't he? So I'm just saying, there's no need to force yourself to seem happy. If you need a shoulder to cry on, Oh, sorry. I really don't know what you mean. What's it even like to cry anyway? What? What do you mean? What is it like to cry? Surely you've done it before. Everyone has. I'm asking because I seriously don't know. Wait, you're serious? You've never cried, not once. I guess not. I felt moved when reading books and felt kinda lonely when someone wasn't there anymore. But being so upset that something that tears come out of your eyes just seems kinda alien to me. How? She never cried? Never? She's younger than the rest of us, but by her age, most people have done it more than they can count. Huh? Why'd you go all quiet for? Are you still down about stuff with V? Cheer up, okay? It's no fun if you're all gloomy like this. No, it's okay. I was just having a hard time processing what you were saying. I just want you to remember one thing. To all of us in Class 7, you're both a classmate and a friend. If everything ever was to happen to you, all of us would be incredibly upset. Enough to cry a lot. Just remember that. Okay, I still don't know what you're trying to say, but I'll keep that in mind. I really like all of you guys too. Ah, come on. With how reckless you are, you're gonna run into trouble way before I do. Fair point, I'll be careful. It's kinda sad. Never having cried before? Is it because of all the training that she had when she was younger? That she wasn't allowed to, or she was just desensitized for it? It's weird, isn't it? But this is a bowling event that I'm generally thinking of maybe keeping. But yeah, then I will redo it in between the episodes if that's the case. After they finished talking, the two left the Eisengraf, stuffed bear in hand. But in the end, it could just be that there's so many good bowling events, it's gonna be hard to pick anyway. But the fact that she takes a bear with her, maybe we'll see that bear on the Courageous if we pick this event. I'll have to bring him aboard the Courageous with us later. I still don't know what half the stuff you said meant though. Well, whatever. I'll probably figure it out someday. That you surely will, I'm sure of it. Oh, this city is so amazing that I almost can't take it all in. It's not so much a different city as it is a different world. Nothing is familiar. I know a lot of our classmates feel this way, but I grew up in such a rural area, I can hardly believe what I'm looking at. Yeah, I felt the same the first time I was here. It's a far cry from Ymir, that's for sure. Still, while you're here, why not walk around and take in the sights? It's a bit intimidating, but there's a lot to see. Well, that sounds like a fun idea. And Rean, I know it's hard, but I hope things get better for you soon. Thanks, Emma. I hope so too. Maybe she'd appreciate a guide. Roar is a big place after all. How about I give you a guided tour of the place? I've been here before, so I should be able to give you a decent one. At least. Not a lizard crate, but still. Are you sure you wouldn't mind? I'd love that. Now let's go. Ooh, what a strange sensation. The idea of moving staircases is incredible, isn't it? True enough. This isn't the only one in the continent too. Zeiss and Liberal has them too. I wouldn't be surprised they were introduced in more cities over in Erebonia. What's that big structure over there? An orbital generator apparently. They provide the energy that this town and its factories need to work. I've heard they have plans to make more of them too. Or at least they had plans. I'm guessing they put on hold until Reinford Company is fully reorganized again. Oh, it's amazing that technology like this actually exists. It's like magic in a way. Rean continued to show Emma around the city, focusing primarily on things one couldn't find anywhere else. Eventually, their tour came to an end and they decided to stop for a rest. Phew, there's so much to take in here that my head is still spinning. Every time I thought I'd seen all there was to see, you led me somewhere else that was even more incredible. That's the same way I felt the first time I was here. It gets even more incredible when you realize that in a few decades, places like this could be the norm. Oh, you may be right, especially with the way technology is always advancing. It reminds me of something I read in a book once. It said, technology that is beyond the comprehension of the observer is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah, I've heard that in a Thor movie as well. That is one way to look at it, sure. But if that is the case, where does it leave witches like me? If people develop new technology and embraces it with open arm, but our equally convenient magic is feared as heretical. That's why we're forced to live in the shadows, hiding both our existence and our powers away from the people. Is that the only reason we exist? To fulfill duties that nobody even knows about while the world leaves us behind? Sorry, Emma. I never realized you felt that way. No, not at all. I'm the one who should be sorry. I didn't mean to ramble at you like this. You're shouldering a far heavier burden than I am right now. Another person's worries are the last thing you need. Even more so when my duty as a witch is to support you. I'm sure Grandmother and Celine would be very annoyed at me right now. You don't have anything to be sorry for. And honestly, all of your concerns make sense to me. I don't think anyone exists just to fulfill some arbitrary set of duties, especially you. You really think so? Sure, your wish, but that doesn't have to define who you are as a person. To us, you're Emma, our class president and our friend, who just also happens to be a witch. Nobody gets to pick how they're born, but everyone deserves to choose how they want to live their lives. Well, I suppose you're right. So don't let being a witch force you into dedicating your life to fulfilling your duties or whatever. Focus on finding something that you want to do. We're all here to help you do that, you know that, right? You're not alone. I don't think anyone else in our class has figured out exactly how to live their lives either. Well, when you put it that way. There's no supposing about it, is there? You're right. Thank you, Rean. It might not be easy to find something I want to do for myself, but maybe it's time that I start thinking long and hard about it. If I run into any difficulties though, you'll be the first person I come to for support. Whenever you need it, I'll be there. Which everyone in Class 7 knows is fully true. Not just the ladies. Your bond with Emma strengthened. And again, this event, just like with Milliam, great one. Definitely. It was great to walk around and take in the sights with you. Our conversation gave me some real food for thought too. If I need any more advice, you'll be the first person to ask. Oh, you go do that. Alright, do we have any persons up here? I think Machias? I think Machias is the only one up here, isn't he? Yeah, I think the rest is all downstairs. Okay, we have 1 point left, and if I do want to pick Milliam, which is highly likely because I want to see if that teddy bear ends up in the Courageous, I'm probably going to switch her out with Machias. So let's watch Machias, and then later in between the episodes or at the end, I will do Milliam and just cut it out of the footage. Well, I'll be taking a long look around Roar Institute of Technology soon. It's practically the premier technical university in the country, so I think any time I spend there will be to my benefit. I would imagine so. We did go inside during our field study, but that was just for Professor Smith's request, so we didn't go explore much. Still, it's very you to make a break for the nearest school when we finally get a little time to rest. Well, if there's something I can only see while we're here, why wouldn't I? Maybe you should do the same. No better way to lift your spirits than to get your mind off what's getting them down? Well, I keep that in mind, thanks. Maybe he's right. Checking out the institute probably would cheer me up. Let's go do it. Yeah, I think you're onto something here. Would it be okay if I tagged along? Of course, I was kind of hoping you would. Shall we? Hopefully they won't meet Smith. Ooh, it's the radio-controlled car. Whoa. What was that? Oh, sorry about that, guys. Hey, I recognize you two. Oh, you guys came here for field study one time with your other classmates, right? Hit that nail on the head, but mind explaining what those two tiny cars are? Actually, I think I remember seeing them during our field study too. Oh, these babies? They're a new kind of toy that we are developing. We're calling them orbital remote controlled cars. Well, they're basically little cars that run on orbital power that you can drive around with these radio frequency control devices. With things settling down here in Roar, we're off to test our new and improved ones all around town. Damn, that's some impressive technology. You've replicated the look of the Reinfeldt Company luxury liner vehicles very well too. Oh, do you recognize them, Machias? With the number of cars on the road in Heimdallr, you start to recognize different models after a while. So I eventually decided to start doing some research into what each one had to offer. The Lux series was one of the ones I found myself particularly fond of, so its name stuck in my mind. Now that's a man with taste. Well, if you can appreciate the beauty of these little babies, you're gonna go far in life. Actually, you're just the kind of guy who'd like to give this thing a little test run. Are you serious? As serious as we'll ever been. We've been as many people playing with these things as possible, right? Oh, actually, it'll be great if you could grab another friend too. 3 people racing against each other would just be awesome, but would also provide us with some valuable data. Well, in that case, we'd be happy to play with your cars for you. And I already know who our third friend will be, though I'd hardly call him a friend. Yeah, it's gonna be useless, we just know it. Wait, you're not thinking of... You just know it. Yep, he was. Of all things you could summon me out of the blue for a toy car race. Still, it's not as though I have anything better to do, so I accept your challenge. Smile while you still can. I expect you to give it this your all too, Rean. Okay, if you insist. Well, now that you know the controls, the course will take you from here, around the front of the RF building and to the top steps of the near F. You're going to have to chase after your cars though, since the overways have a limited range. Well then, shall we get started? Take your positions. Ready, set, go! Their cars left the starting line and the race of the century began. The 3 of them chased furiously after their cars, struggling to adjust to the unfamiliar controls. As they were finally nearing the finish line, Uses and Machias hit their competitive peak, each one desperate to claim victory. Ah, get the hell out of my way! Kneel before me, fool. Guys, calm down a bit, are you gonna... Ooh! What? Impossible! Rean won! We have our winner! In the first place, Rean Swarzer. Seriously? It was a neck-and-neck race, but once they crashed their cars, Uses and Machias didn't stand a chance. Looked like you got a bit carried away at the wheel there, fellas. That was careless of me. This is completely ridiculous. But we got some fantastic data thanks to you 3. We'll have to get this back to the lab and start brainstorming improvements right away. Great work, you guys. Thanks. The race completed, Uses went back to whatever he was doing, and the researchers skipped off gleefully to the institute. Phew, I didn't expect that would end up being such a big thing. I'm a little frustrated that I didn't manage to come in first, but if the whole thing cheered you up, I'd say it's well worth doing. Thanks, Machias, that means a lot. No need to make a big deal out of it. On a more pragmatic note, I can see something like toy cars becoming very successful during wartime. Just another reason for us to fight for peace, I suppose. Unless the technology used for remote controlled cars will be used for soldats and other vehicles as well. Then it would be a beneficial aspect to war, right? Yeah, that's a fight I'm sure we'll win. Besides, if these things ever make it to market, we can have another race. Sounds good to me. Next time, I'm taking uses down. Some things never change. Especially between those two. Your bond with Magia strengthened. Those remote-controlled cars are fascinating little toys, aren't they? If they hit the market, I'll be the first in line if I have to sleep out in front of the store to do it. But on that day, I'll challenge you to another race and I'll win. If you can. Yeah, I do like it then when they get so competitive. Because it's an actual thing, isn't it? Alright, Elvin. That was the one I was forgetting. So, okay, so with the next round of tasks, we can go with Elvin, Laura, Elliot, and V. And that will leave us with 3 more. Yes. Yeah, there should be a 4 point. Then we can pick Milliam with our remaining one that we have left. Unless we see a few more bonding events that are even greater than the ones we just saw. But yeah, let's reload. Alright. So I'm guessing which one would be the first one to do? Let's do Laura and Elliot. They're the closest by here, so. Oh, I can't stop thinking about our field study here from earlier in the year. Sure, it was tough, but it was fun. And V was still alive. Yeah, even if we did think he died back at the mine. I'm guessing news of V's actual death has probably reached Crow by now. I wonder how he's taking it. Oh, sorry. It was probably super insensitive of me to bring him up. Just try to cheer up, okay? Elliot's definitely worried about me. Maybe we should hang out for a while. I just got a great idea for something we can do together. Come with me, Rean. What's going on now? You'll find out soon enough. Let's go. Elliot dragged Rean into the Reinford building, and after he bought a few things, Elliot dragged him right back out again. This sort of looks like the same kind of orbital guitar used back at the festival. That's because it is. Both that and the keyboard were made by the Reinford company. They're display models, but they said we could use them since playing them right out here would make for good advertising. Should be all tuned up now. I've already got permission, so shall we get started? Get started? Wait, you don't mean... I sure do. Let's play some music. Just you and me, putting on a concert in the middle of the street. And nobody's stopping to listen, come on. Despite the sudden start, the two played with gusto, the focus entirely on both their instruments and the performance. A surprising number of Roar's residents had stopped to listen and clap for them too. After all, it was a success. Phew, that was something. Impressive work, Rean. We were out of sync in a few spots and we missed a note or two out there. But it was fun, wasn't it? It was for me at least. Yeah, it was fun. Just goes to show that music doesn't stop at giving strength to the listeners. The performers get some too, I guess. I was every bit as happy there as I was when performing at the festival. I'm a little biased, but I say playing yourself is even more fun than listening, to be honest. That's probably one of the reasons why I can't seem to give music up. Thanks for inviting me to join you, Elliot. This definitely helped cheer me up. Oh, you're very welcome. We'll have to do this again sometime, if we can. With some time, practice, hopefully. Not just us either, the whole class, just like back at the festival. That sounds great. I hope we can get another chance to do something like that. I hope so too. Their street concert complete, Rean and Elliot went back to Reinford HQ to return their instruments with smiles of elation on their faces. Your bond with Elliot strengthened. Art support? Good. Man, that was so much fun. Performing outdoors like that felt great. I gotta do some big outdoor concert with others someday. And maybe actually practice for that one. Oh, I know you will manage to do that at some point. Well, if anyone can, at least he is. Ah, this is my first time seeing Roar. I must admit, I'm very impressed. My expectations were high given the rival company's presence here, but I can safely say they've been shattered. I think this single shop alone has more types of Obergoods than the entirety of Legram. I feel kind of like a child in a candy store, to be honest. There's so much I want to look at while I'm here. I could go for some window shopping. Mind if we look around together? Nothing like shelves full of stuff to take your mind off things. By all means. Let's see what this place has to offer. Lots of goodies, that's for sure. So this is an orbital refrigerator. I noticed there was a large one in the Courageous kitchen, but I wasn't entirely sure what it was at the time. Oh, now that you mention it, we do have one on board, don't we? Being able to just stick food in there and have it stay fresh for days is pretty awesome. So it is. I wouldn't mind having one for myself when I want to prepare a boxed lunch. How much does one cost? Maybe I'll consider one when my skill in cooking improves enough to justify the expenditure. Let's go look at something else. Right. She actually seems pretty disappointed she can't get one. What's this? The design is rather avant-garde. It says here that it's called an orbital vacuum cleaner. You press the button on it and it sucks dust and crumbs. Ah, so it's like the orbital version of a broom, I guess. That sounds pretty convenient. I'd like to give it a try. Let's see. Laura carefully pressed the button on the vacuum cleaner. I don't think you're supposed to turn on appliances in a store like that. Oh, sorry. I guess curiosity just got the better of me. I suppose I should turn it off then. Is this the button you press to do that? Oh, why is this vibrating even louder and more forcefully? Oh, excuse me, miss. Well, he certainly seemed none too pleased with us. I'm sorry, Rean. Don't worry about it. It's not often I see you get in trouble like that. I guess technology isn't your forte, is it? Apparently not. I mean, I have an interest in it, but very little experience actually using it. I think I'll be able to use all the appliances here if I had a chance to learn, though. Just like I did with our combat ornaments. By the way, what are these? They're orbital washing machines by the look of it. You put your clothes in there and it'll wash them for you. Alyssa had a few of her in her house from what I remember. Oh wow, that sure seems convenient. Fascinating. I wonder how it works. Let me see. Stop pressing buttons, for crying out loud, Laura, really? Ah, not again. Oh, my apologies. So, which of these buttons turns it off? This one? No, maybe this one. Oh, please tell me you haven't done what I think you've done. Oh, I'm afraid it appears I've broken it. Excuse me, miss. Fortunately for Laura and Rean, the damage was less severe than it looked, and they were able to repair the orbital washing machine. The employee was understandably furious, but thanks to their connection with Alyssa, he was kind enough to overlook what happened. I can believe I made such a blunder, not just once, but twice. Well, at least we were able to fix it, right? All's well that ends well, I guess. Still, it really does feel like you were born into the way of the sword. You don't need to make my lack of domestic skills sound like some kind of winning quality. I'm all too aware of the areas where I come up short, and I took up cooking in an effort to become more refined, but I wasn't planning on to admit that here. Still, I'm glad I got the chance to see a side of you no one else has really gotten to see. And hey, no one's good at everything. We've all got our weak spots. Well, that is true, but you and I aren't so different in that regard, you know? All of us have roles we're good at fulfilling, and for those we aren't, We need to learn to rely on others. I want you to promise me that you won't try to shoulder everything yourself. All of us are here with you to share the burden. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, very nice. Your bond with Laura strengthened. I'm so glad you joined me. It was a lot of fun looking around together. Even if ornaments do continue to vex and baffle me. If they could prove useful in my lunchbox making exploit, however, I won't be able to shy away forever. Yeah, you'll learn if you just keep on practicing. I can't believe he was actually right. I was hoping he would have a reaction to Laura and all the messing up she did. Oh well, let's go to the airport and find V. And the people that are here, will make sure to talk to them when we head towards the Courageous. Oh, it is her. Such a distance away, I couldn't be sure. Just taking a moment for herself? Or is she looking for a new place to nap? Heading back to the ship, Rean? No, not yet. I'm just wondering and trying to figure out what to do. If I really can't think of anything, I'll probably go and check in on Valimar and then laze around inside. I'm exhausted after everything that went down yesterday. Me too. It's hard to get what happened to V out of my head. He might have been our enemy, but he gave his condolences for our boss's death back at the mine. So it's hard to hate him. He did, didn't he? Huh. I almost forgot. I guess it makes sense that I'm not the only one who feels down after all that. It might do me some good to spend some time with V since we're both here. Yes. Hey, mind if I hang out with you for a bit? I mean, if you think I'll be in the way, just tell me and I'll get going. Of course you won't. Stay here for as long as you like. Thanks, V. Aw, kittens. What's a kitten doing here? Oh, he doesn't look too happy. Maybe he's been separated from his mother? He's not wearing a collar, so I'm guessing he's a stray. Rean, don't worry. We got some time before we need to head back. Let's see if we can reunite him with his mother, shall we? Kitten in hand, Rean and V started walking around the city, trying to find where the kitten's mother could be. Well, if you can't find a mother, we could take it on board the Courageous. Maybe she can ask the kitten. The kitten being a stray, they assumed that finding his mother wasn't going to be an easy task, and they were completely right. Rean and V asked everyone they could, even Celine, and searched for the missing mother cat while every fiber of their being. In the end, over there! Oh yeah, I can see the resemblance. Looks like we found our mother. Yep. Even without knowing what they're saying, it's obvious that they're family. Yes, they are. I'm just glad we're able to reunite these two. Me too. His mother must have been looking for him all this time. Nice to know his family didn't abandon him after all. V. Carrying him around reminded me of something that happened the day the boss died. Just before he fell in battle too. What happened? Well, we wanted to watch the battle between him and the Red Constellation's leader, so we'd set up camp nearby. All of a sudden, a Jaeger wandered into our camp. A girl about my age. Another Jaeger that young? Maybe a year older than me, I don't know. She'd come from the Red Constellation camp on the other side of the battlefield. All because she was chasing a stray cat. Hold on. She wandered into an enemy camp just before battle? That seemed like an incredibly bad idea. What happened? Oh, we didn't attack her or anything. They weren't exactly in the mood to start anything with us at that point either. So the two of us just talked whilst you played with the cat. Wow, I can hardly imagine having a casual conversation with an enemy just before your leaders fight to the death. It's also kind of depressing to think that there are other Jaegers that young, your age, out there too. I guess, but we're not exactly rare. But she was really strong. Strong enough to lead a whole battalion in their corps. It was like she lived to be out on the battlefield and killing. Loved fighting as much as anyone I ever seen. She was more man-eating tiger than girl. Sounds like the two of you are total opposites. People tend to paint all Jaegers with the same brush, but the more I talk to you, the more I realize how different they all are. I wonder what she's doing now. I bet she's okay though. She was strong enough that she'd be fine, even if her family left her behind. That's another way we're different. Unlike her, as soon as my family left me, I became a weak little girl who couldn't do anything for herself. There's more to strength than just proficiency in battle, you know? And even if it weren't, you become a much better fighter since you joined Class 7. I've definitely seen big improvements since our first battle as a class. Maybe you're right. If I am though, it's because all of you have been there to support me. There's no question about that. Hey, we all help each other improve and get stronger, both on the battlefield and off. You've helped every one of us. But we've all still got room to grow, and at this rate, we're going to need to do as much growing as we can. Yeah? Well, you got a point. But together, we'll get strong enough to get through all of this. I just know we will. I know that too. God, there's still so much improvement left for us. The conversation at an end, they watched the two cats scurry off into the distance. I'm really glad we found his mother in the end. Thanks for the help, Rean. Yeah, another amazing bonding event. Yeah, they really are making it hard for me to finalize my pick. They really do. Which, I mean, that is technically a very good thing. I'd rather have a hard choice than an easy one. Alright, one more left to go, and I'll probably leave the picks for the next episode. And then we can directly continue on with the main story as well by going to the Courageous afterwards. Ooh, wait. There's a copy of a magazine called Cars Monthly here. I think this is some sort of automotive magazine published abroad. They got a whole section here just dedicated to car paint colors. This one could actually be kinda cool. Dark coloring. Nice. Okay, I gotta remember to re-pick that up afterwards. Last night I received an invitation to stay here. There's still some time until we have to leave, so I think I'll spend some quality time curled up with these books instead. Sharon's coffee can't be beaten either. In fact, pulling myself away from here may prove to be a real struggle. Maybe I should join her for a while? She seemed like she could use some company. Alright, let's do it. Mind if I stick around a little longer? Oh, not at all. We don't get many chances to spend time together like this, so let's make the most of it. Rean could never say no to some of Sharon's coffee. In fact, he asked her to make another pot for them. With that, he and Princess Alvin spent some time perusing the countless books gathered in the library. This coffee really has a nice aroma to it. Doesn't it? Sitting back and enjoying a cup of Sharon's coffee engrossed in the book? I think I found the very definition of bliss. Well, I can see where you're coming from. It never ceases to amaze me how many books there are in here, or even the variety of topics and genres represented. I guess Gwyn has always been pretty broad range of interest though, so it makes sense that his library would be just as diverse. Indeed, but that only makes it more difficult to decide which volume to read next. Although, I must admit, I was a little disappointed to find one particular genre unrepresented here. Oh? Which one? The titillating tales loved by fair ladies all across the Empire. Stories about the lives and loves of handsome gentlemen. Books that warm the hearts of all who thrill to their prose. Oh, those books. I remember you saying those were pretty popular at St. Destroyer too, right? The Courageous was lacking in that genre too, until Dorothy came and seeded it with some volumes from her own collection. So, does Elise, have any interest in these kinds of books? It's so much more magical to just leave the truth to things, to your imagination. We're talking about a realm we're created by and for pure-hearted maidens after all. It's not a place where gentlemen should tread lightly. Fair enough. I am curious. Not that curious. Try at least to regulate your corruption influence though. That would be great. If that's truly what you wish, I suppose I ought to respect your wishes. But teasing her is my most cherished pastime, so I'd really prefer to keep at it. I wonder if she realizes her struggles are mainly just for entertainment. Still, teasing or not, I'm glad Elise has at least one close friend she can depend on. Oh, and speaking of entertaining pastimes, I actually learned a delightful little card game called Blade from Sharon yesterday. Perhaps we could play a few rounds together. That sounds fun. I accept your challenge. Rean cut the cards and began what seemed like it would be a few quick friendly games of Blade. As they played, things unexpectedly ended up getting fairly heated, with each of them determined to come out on top while holding nothing back. In the end, the time they spent together was as enjoyable as the time they spent reading. This really is quite an amusing little game. It's nice that even an inexperienced player like me doesn't start at too great of a disadvantage. Yeah, the updated version has a lot of more strategy to it too. But, I have a lot of fond memories of this version of the game. I almost can't help but like it. In fact, Crow's the one who gave me my very first deck of Blade cards. Oh, really? It was sad to see the two of you fighting each other, especially after all you've been through together. What is it that forced the two of you to fight like this? Well, ultimately, I think it's a battle of wills, and both of us are too stubborn to just give up and walk away. What do you mean? Rean told Princess Elvin about everything that happened between him and Crow. As he went on dredging up memories from what seemed like a lifetime ago, he went through a whole spectrum of emotions. And yet, through it all, she had quietly and considerately listened until he finished telling her all that there was to tell. You could think of it as a high-stakes game of Blade. Crow on one side and me on the other. Neither of us are willing to compromise on things that make us who we are. Our beliefs, our pasts, our friends. And without compromise, all that's left of us is to meet each other head to head and see who comes out on top. I just hope that while we're doing that, we'll discover where life will lead us, what to do with ourselves after this. I see. Boys will be boys, I suppose. But hearing you describe it, I almost envy Crow's position. Why is that? Oh, I just mean, Elise would probably think that if she were here now, and Rean and Crow, I mean. After all, it's almost like fate is pushing you and Crow together. It fills my imagination with, thoughts. Just a word to the wise, guys aren't too hot about being paired up with their male friends when they don't lean that way. Well, like it or not, I consider myself someone fully invested in this little battle of wills now. So I intend to stay with you and see how it all pans out. You're more than welcome to come along for the ride, Your Highness, wherever it may take us. Yeah. Despite being a Princess Elvin really is supportive in her own way. I'll be sure to watch over that fateful clash between you and Crow when the time comes. Especially since it's sure to lead to some juicy developments for us ladies. Yeah, there's gonna be a shipping version of Crow and Rean out there, isn't it? And Dorothy is gonna write it, I just know it. It's gonna be terrible. But yeah. For now, that leaves us with this episode. Next time we're gonna do the 3 ones we picked. I will pick Millium. I will do that in between the episode because we already saw that bonding event, so we don't have to do it again. And we start off with the 3 remaining, which is Toa, Sarah, and Usus. I still stand between the 3 of them, so I think it would be fun to see those. And after we're done with that, we're just gonna continue on with the game, because there's no way we can get outside the city unless we go on board the Courageous. So I'm guessing we're gonna do that on the next episode when we get back on the ship. We also tried to see where Linda ended up on the Courageous, and of course Angelica, since he's part of the crew as well. So it's gonna be all interesting things next time. But until then, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time as we continue on with our journey into the next part of the game. See you then. Bye bye.